Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. The addition is completely framed in and skinned. Now it's time to get that dried in. Looking really nice. A lot of work still left to do though. I have a list, and I'm sure this is not all inclusive, but I'm trying to get everything figured out, what has to be done before what, because it's real important where the one roof meets the side of the old building. Right in here somewhere. So I have the first thing on here to trim the rafter tails and install the insulation. That's cutting off the bottom of the rafter tails so they're flat, and then I'll be putting in this 2x4 all the way across and then a fascia board on there at some point. But before that fascia board is put on, I'll be putting on insulation. I could show you that real quick. That'll just be a piece of insulation on the outside that goes from right in here somewhere up to the roof, and that'll seal up that opening. This is not going to be vented. It's going to be completely sealed up, and it's going to have rock wool insulation in it. More about that later, but that's the reason for that. That's going to go like from here up. So what else do we have on there? Oh, we have some special moldings that I had made up by the Amish. They're over there in the truck. And I have some furring material, which is 3/8 inch exterior plywood that needs to go on the upper section of the barn right here so that I can put the siding on that. But before the siding goes on that, the roofing has to go on. So it's a real detailed bunch of stuff that has to be done, and it all has to be done in order. So we got our drip edge, and then on top of the drip edge goes the felt, and then on top of the felt goes the shingles and the step flashing. And on the other side, it has step flashing along the building and around each one of the skylights. At the bottom of the step flashing, it has flashing going behind the step flashing, and it has a Z flashing that goes on top of the siding that's on the lower part of the barn. Like I said, real complicated, and it's going to be kind of hard to film on this side of the building because of the wind. The wind's coming from the north, but I can film while I'm working on this side of the building. No wind over there at all, so we'll try to get as much as possible filmed. But before I can even start on that, I need to lay out where the electric trench goes and mark how deep it needs to be along the way. Right at the pedestal, it doesn't need to have any depth at all. That whole area is going to be raised up by about 2 feet next year, and we don't want our electric line buried 4 feet in the ground. So I got to lay that out. My daughter and her boyfriend are going to be digging that. And when I finished this up, it was getting dark, and then it started raining. So I still have all of my stuff in the gator, and I still have a truckload of stuff from running to town yesterday. All of that has to come out. So we'll see how much we can get filmed. I don't know if it's going to be that much, but I'm going to spread this out. This is day 1, and I'm guessing it's going to take 6 or 7 days to get this completely dried in. So let's get going. I'm going to mark that trench for them right away, and then we'll move over to the gator. I'll show you what we're dealing with over there. And with any luck, we'll be cutting rafter tails, noon 1 maybe. Okay, I got done laying out that trench, and I'm going to try to show it to you later if this wind dies down at all, but It's like 20-mile-an-hour wind sustained out there, so I have my doubts. All right, this is everything that was outside when I finished up sheathing the little tiny house up there, and now it needs to go wherever it needs to go. Some of it's going here, some of it's going in the scrap pile, and some of it's going back up by the tiny house. I just threw everything in here and backed this in here because it was going to start raining at any time, and it was almost dark. So, and that was, what, 4 days ago. Okay, I'm going to get this cleaned up. I don't think I'm going to even show that. I'll get back to you when we start laying out to cut the rafter tails. Well, I got this trench laid out. It goes from 0 here to 2 feet right by the building, and my daughter and her boyfriend dug this. That was 2 days ago. Man, does that suck having a trench here again. This was all dug by hand. We really don't want a machine out here doing this, because that would just make a huge mess, huge big wide trench. But we're ready to go on this. We're going to be cutting and installing that wire right there and that wire right there in a day or two. But this is the focus right now. The day I started this video, I got these rafter tails all cut. They had a cut going this way. Oh wait, no, I did that before. I just did the cut going that way. Then I got all of this foam cut and nailed into place, and I was doing that while he was digging the trench here, so it was kind of a pain in the butt, and it was cloudy and extremely windy that day, so I really couldn't film anything. This took that entire day, getting those rafter tails cut and getting that foam in. Today I'm going to foam with spray foam around the edges. That's going to take a while too, because I have to move the ladder for each one. But I also need to finish that up. I did this yesterday, and what that is the furring strip. The siding is this T111. I need to template that as well today. What I'm going to do is finish up this furring. That's going to hold the siding 3/8 of an inch away from the building so that we get proper drainage when it gets down to here. This will all kind of make sense once I get further into it and show you. There's going to be step flashing in there, another flashing that goes this way, and then a drip edge that goes this way. So water coming down the roof is not going to go directly onto this. It's going to go onto a metal Z flashing. I got the one on the other side in, and this is the one for this side. So, well, it's kind of hard to explain. I'll show you that in more detail when we get to it. Again, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to film, because it's really hard to film up there. It's hard to even be up there. But the task for right now is to get the rest of this furring in place. Then I need to make cardboard templates of the panels for each side, which is going to take a while. I got to cut it, tape it together, a lot of messing around, and then pull those off and bring them over to the wood shop, and we'll get that stuff cut later. Once I have those templates, I can move on to the rest of the stuff. Let me see what I got here. I have to finish the furring, foam these. Okay, install the cross members. The cross members will go on the bottom of this cut here. It's a 2x4 that goes all the way across. That stiffens everything up and gives me a place to put the fascia board. Fascia board goes on next, and then, well, and there's a piece that goes onto this chalk line here that'll create the surface, or the two ends of a surface, where I'm going to put tin that goes across that, and that'll be the soffit. So those couple things, well, especially that templating, I may only get as far as getting this furring done and getting the templates made. And then this stuff really does not need to be done right away. If I can get that upper part done, I can get some roofing felt on this. If that sounds ambitious, it really is. I don't know if I'll be able to get this stuff done today. My main focus is getting the rest of that furred out and get those templates made. Once that's done, I'll move on to this. With any luck, I'll be able to get them both done today, but I wouldn't count on it. Yeah, this took an entire day. The other side took about 4 hours, and the majority of the time was spent trying to figure out all the different angles and stuff. I cut a bunch of little pieces of the different materials. I had a piece of drip edge. Where is that? Oh, it's on the other side. But I slid the drip edge down and figured out all the different angles and all that stuff and where stuff is going to drip. And once I got that all figured out, I cut this piece for the other side and got that in. And then this one took, about an hour. And it has a beveled bottom and it's treated with a wood preservative. There was just a lot of different things that had to be done with it, but now it's done and it's gonna really shed water nice. So it's better to have things nice and waterproof than rush through a job. Okay, I'm gonna get started up there. I'm gonna film some of it and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Let me quick show you where we're at on the notes. These were not supposed to be days. They were just steps to get this done, but it turned out to be days. The trimming of the rafter, that took a full day. This took a full day. And now we're on to number 3 and on the 3rd day. And this is going to take at least a full day. I have the templating in there as well, so maybe we're going to get ahead of it. Here's that drip edge sample I was talking about. Yeah, the ladder's too far away, but we have our Z flashing on this side. I'll show you that up close a little bit later, probably in the next video. All right, I just got my nailer and my jigsaw up here. So what I got to do first, I have my furring laying down there. I need to measure and rough cut a piece to fit here and then mark where the window's going to go, get that notched out, and then staple that in place. Then I'll put one across here and across there, and then we have one more over here and one along that edge, and then we can finish up that side. I think I'll actually do those edges first because they're longer. This side of the roof is soaking wet from the dew, so it's really slippery. These just need to be rough cut. They're going to be completely covered. Well, that was pretty good. Fits perfect the first time. And then this is just getting stapled in. What a beautiful view. Beautiful fall day. This is the first day in a good while that it hasn't been windy as all get out. Okay, now I need to go get a bunch of strips of cardboard and stuff and make a template for each side of this. I'm gonna put a center line right down here based on this right here, and then I'll have to figure out the overlap, and we'll get templates made for both sides of this. And then once that's done, I can concentrate on the rest of the roof, specifically the fascia, so that I can get the drip edge on. And once I have the fascia and the drip edge on, I can get the felt on here. That's going to run up just a bit onto this. There's going to be step flashing on that later. But before that, I have house wrap to put on here. Lots of work to do. I have the rest of today and tomorrow, and then it's going to rain again the day after that. Hopefully I can get this done by then. All right, let's start making those templates. All right, I have a good deal of my templating done. What I did was just take a large piece and get it right in the center, and then just put a couple staples in it, staple it right to the furring strips here. And then I use, about 6-inch wide strips and this bigger piece right here to fill in the rest. This is my edge right here. And I have these 2x4 spacers at the bottom. I want 1.5 inches of space between the bottom of the panel and the roof. That's going to get filled in with a little bit of stuff, the roofing, the felt, and the step flashing. So it'll probably end up to be like 1.25 inches, which is fine. So I have almost all of this upper part done. I got about 1/4 inch of gap here and there, 1.5 inches at the bottom, and I'm going to fill in this opening right here. I don't need to, but I want to do that so that this whole thing doesn't fall apart when I take it off. We got a couple staples holding this on, as few as possible. Got one there, and there's one buried under here. Once I get that lower part done, I have to peel this off, and it has to come off intact. So I'm going to get a piece in here, put a bunch of tape on that, and all that's going to do is hold this thing together when I take it off. I could take it off exactly like it is if I could get it off, and it would be fine. I don't need anything in here, but I'm just going to add it for extra strength. Once this is done, I'm going to get down on top of a step ladder and piece together all this stuff. That's probably going to be 3-4 pieces. Then I'll come back up here and pull this off, and I'll start the next piece, which goes to about right here. I got the lines drawn on here. As you can see, I believe you can see that. That represents the overlap of the panels. All right, yeah, this is taking a while, like I thought. So I'm going to get moving on this, and I'll get back with you when I start tearing this off. Okay, we have the north template done. Let me show you this lower part here. This is exactly how it's going to be cut. There's actually another piece of this furring that goes in here, and then when the roofing goes on, we'll have a drip edge come out to about here, but there's step flashing that will come way back to here, and that'll be under the final siding. So this will all be black right here, and this will be the same blue as the rest of the building. Now I got to get this off without destroying it, which shouldn't be too hard. I probably have 5 staples in there. Got one right here Yeah, there's only 3 on the bottom, 5 or 6. But before I do that, now that I got some heat on this, I'm gonna go around and get this foamed in right away. Now that I got the ladder out of here, I have to move the ladder and go down the line, get that all foamed, and I'll do the same thing on the other side once that warms up. Not sure if you'll be able to see that or not, but I got everything all foamed up. Now it's time to take the template off. Hopefully this thing comes off easy. That will make my day a whole lot easier. Oh, so far so good. Yes, yes, yes. Don't want it to bend up much, and I definitely don't want it to come apart. Come on. There it is. Okay. Now, to get this down, I can't just drop it. Beautiful. A hornet attack, several hornets attacking me. Sons of bitches. Okay, I moved everything over to this side. Yeah, I don't know how far I'm going to be able to get today. It's already 1 o'clock and I have one side of the template done. Well, all of this foaming as well. But that template is far more important. Hopefully I can get this other side completely done by the end of today. And with any luck, get these filler pieces in the corners and that trim. And I'm sure that's going to be it. Either tonight or tomorrow night, I have to run to town. I have some scaffolding that screws onto the wall so I can put the roof on from up high. I usually do it from a ladder, but that just takes way too long. So yeah, with any luck, I should be able to get what I said done today, but I'm definitely not going to be able to get these filler pieces and the fascia on today, which has to be done before the drip edge goes on. And once the drip edge and the felt goes on, I have to get the house wrap on before the other drip edge can go on. Then I can put the roof on. So it looks like this is going to get rained on again, but I think it's just going to be a brief little rain, not tomorrow morning, but the morning after that, which really sucks. All right, I'll get back with you once I have this part templated. I was hoping they would fly. They do it in unison. It's like a cloud of birds, but no such luck. All right, my other template is done. We just got invaded by Asian beetles, and my wife sprayed the house. I sprayed up here and some of the doors. But there's just thousands of beetles around. A lot of these are dead now, but you get more landing all the time. Not sure if you'll be able to see them. There was hundreds on here before, and then I sprayed this. They all dropped down to the ground. All right, I'm gonna go pull that template off, and then I have to hand nail these little pieces in the corners. And then I'm going to start getting dimensions for this fascia stuff and some fillers on the end. Not sure how much of that I'll be able to get done, but looks like I'll be able to get some of it done. Okay, we have 4:33. It is quitting time, but I have another one of these to do on the other side. The other side already has the tin in there, the black tin. Kind of show you what's going on here. When I install this drip edge tomorrow, I'll be installing the fascia board, which will be out to about here. And then the drip edge will be kind of like that. It's hard to see. But the drip edge will be past the metal like that, and this whole area up here is going to be covered in metal. The step flashing goes up 5 inches. This is 6 inches, so the step flashing goes up to here. Step flashing is going to go way out to here, so there's no way water can get in here. I also need to get this done. I gotta cut this wire into 3 pieces, get it taped together, and that fourth one there, get it taped together, run it through the ditch, and get this backfilled so I got some flat area to work again. I really hate these trenches, but it is what it is. All right, back to the punch list. Today, I got the template done for the upper area, which is number 4. I still have some of 3 to do, install the cross members and the fascia and the rafter tail fillers and the drip edge. All of that has to be done, but the majority of it's going to be done tomorrow. The filler is just a piece of OSB that needs to go on the face of this so it's at the right thickness. And then the cross members are going to go flush with the end here and go under all of the rafter tails there. That's relatively easy. I got to make up a couple dead men to hold it up there, but other than that, it's not too hard. So I know I'll get number 3 done tomorrow, and I don't know about the roof felt. We'll see on that. So yeah, tomorrow is going to be another busy day. They took the rain out of the forecast. If that holds, that's going to be great, because hopefully I'll get them scaffold brackets tonight and I could start getting that roof felt on and getting that shingled. The other side is another story. I got 2 skylights in that. So there's step flashing at the wall here and step flashing all the way around both of the skylights. That is going to be pretty darn interesting. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you share the video and or give it a like, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching and have a great day.